Today's video, we're going to talk about where you are showing in your ad account bid strategy learning or in learning mode on your Google Ads account, and when you have 0 impressions to go along with it. What you can do about this exactly, starting to get your impressions going again. Okay? Obviously, if your campaign's in learning, what that means is Google does not understand what people on Google want to see the products or services therefore the ads that represent them at that time. You got to go through the learning process, period, for Google to figure that out. But how can Google ever figure it out if they aren't running your ads at all? For the most part, you can think of this kind of like a glitch. There's an algorithm that Google has that runs the ads. It decides if your ad runs, doesn't run, somebody else's ad runs, no ads run, all of this. And the algorithm kind of glitches out sometimes, where technically the algorithm's always supposed to give every single ad a shot, every advertiser a shot. And then after you fail to deliver a good click-through rate and a good conversion rate, then your ads stop showing. If you've already been advertising for a while and you had impressions and now they went down to 0, well, that's probably the reason for it. That is, your ads did not deliver at least as good as your competition. Or your target ROAS or your target CPA is completely out of line with what your ad can deliver at the moment in time, which could be the other reason why your impressions went down to 0. If your impressions you've never gotten impressions, and you're still in learning mode, and you're just the algorithm is saying, getting you shown, that in itself is basically a glitch in the system. And we've had it a lot of times where our ads literally take days, weeks, months before they even will start to get impressions. Sometimes contacting support will help, which as a little guy or gal that's not spending a lot yet, potentially, you aren't going to get through to phone support like we could at our agency. So if you needed some help doing that, you can contact us. And if you're a new advertiser, you just started up your Google Ads account, what you'll a lot of times be able to do as a workaround to get impressions, if you haven't gotten any impressions yet, would be to advertise something else on a different keyword, different campaign, whatever, get good results there, and then the campaign that's not getting impressions right away will start getting impressions, because there's something called, that people in the advertising space refer to as account level quality score. If you had a good history of having ads that perform well in the past, any new ads are going to be, Google's going to want to run them more aggressively in the beginning. So if you're not getting results with the campaign over here, we'll make sure that you can get impressions on the campaign over here that may have not gotten impressions when you tried to launch it. So that gives you some basic information as to what problem you may have if you're not getting any impressions. Your campaign's in learning mode to get to the other side where the algorithm knows how to run your ads, you're getting results, and it's no longer in learning mode anymore. Lots of people think that they can set their if you're using smart bidding, TROAS goal or target CPA to whatever you want, and Google will just deliver. So if it were only so easy to set up a campaign where you know in your business if you can get an 800% ROI, you'd be making money, and to set your campaign to 800% ROI and let the algorithm do the work. The reality is, if you do that as the first thing you do without a build-up period, Google's going to simply show your ad a few times and then it's going to die. The impressions are going to go down to 0 and you're not going to get jack shit. Just to let you know, what I always do on my campaigns, the best ramp up so that you get impressions, you're not going to end up with no impressions and stay in the learning mode forever. I'm going to start out with manual bidding. Specifically, manual bidding with enhanced CPC, because it does involve some machine learning involved in it versus none, of which are plain old manual bidding. And I'm going to set up my conversion tracking real well, and then I'm going to launch, and then one of my campaign or series of campaigns have had at least 30 conversions. then I'll go ahead and switch over to smart bidding, either the target ROAS or target CPA, depending if I'm doing lead generation campaigns or, you know, doing like e-commerce, which there's a lot of times we'll do, even if we're doing lead generation, we'll do target ROAS because we're uploading sales revenue into the account, and that's the way that that should be your ultimate goal. But when we get enough conversion data, then when we switch to smart bidding, the impressions aren't just going to fall off a cliff, because the algorithm already knows how to get you conversions somewhat, versus switching to smart bidding right away, it'll stall out like that, okay? But furthermore with that, you don't want to set your goals too high too quick. It's a process. So even when we switch over to manual bidding, we're not going to, even if we want an 800% ROI, even though we know we needed 800% ROI to be profitable and viable after our product or service costs and what it costs to deliver and so on and so forth, we're going to start out at 100% ROI goal in our smart bidding. And when we get that, and only when we get that consistently for a little while, we're going to go to 150, then 200, then 250. Normally only going up 15% at a time, because we don't want our impressions to stall out, and we get, you know, and so therefore you got to kind of pay to play at the beginning, which nobody wants to do that. Everybody that runs their ads, basically speaking, wants their ads to just pay for themselves right away. Therefore, it doesn't take much money to get a profitable campaign going, and if it were that easy, your competition would have already been doing it years ago. The reason why you're going to be able to cement your place at the top of Google and milking Google for millions of dollars in sales and profit every year is because you're going to be the smart one in your space who knows that you're going to have to invest in the system for the machine learning process to work like it's supposed to where Google tries this, doesn't work, tries this, knows this, delivers a customer, and then gets you more of this, so that the 100% ROI that you need and that you ultimately want, you do get it, but you let the system run your ads at a loss for a while so that it had the data it needs to actually deliver you that 800% ROI. So, with everything I just told you, by the way, this all will happen for sure for you. You can know that the money you invest in the system will get you the results that you want out of it, and you're not going to have no problems with no impressions anymore. Big if, your ad and your landing page that you're using to go with your ad or website is good enough compared to the competition that you have on Google Ads. And along with that, if your target was realistic to begin with, that is, if you want a 2,000% ROI from Google Ads, good luck getting it, basically. It depends on the competition in your market, whether you can get that or not. Some markets you actually can. A lot of them you can't because there's too much competition and it's cutthroat. But the main thing I wanted to communicate here is you will make money in your space. If your ad gets a higher click-through rate and a higher conversion rate than your competition on Google Ads. Why? Because Google wants to send as much traffic as it can to the guy who does that the best, because it provides users the best experience possible. It makes people that after they click on your ad want to come back and click on ads in the future, versus the other way around. And so your money invested in the system to initially get some impressions and get clicks is just your investment for the algorithm to figure out you have the best ad, so that it wants to reward you and then just pour the traffic on your ad versus the person that was, you know, which is now the second best person at those two things, click-through rate, conversion rate, because you're the new player in town, essentially, the one that's providing their users the best experience in your niche than anybody else advertising currently. And so the algorithm, no matter how good your ad and landing page is, won't really won't really want you to succeed, let's say, until they know you have a better setup than anybody else. And with 90% of people who try ads don't ever make it work and don't make it even to profitability because they have a shitty ad and and a shitty website that they think that is good to them, but it's not good to their users as compared to your competition, or their competition, I should say, then you're not going to get, no matter how long you wait, basically, you're never going to get to the other side of profitability, and the algorithm's never going to want to push you as a result of not being in that top 20% of people advertising right now, click-through rate-wise and conversion rate-wise. So your goal is to do the amount of work that's necessary to have a better ad, better landing page than your competition before you ever start advertising. Then it's to start advertising, not expecting an immediate profit from your ads, but to collect data, and then collecting data long enough for Google to realize you're the top dog in your space, click-through rate and conversion rate-wise, and then you're going to really start milking Google for profit on a regular basis from then on, but not before. And so if you don't have the ad in the landing page, the ad click-through rate and the landing page conversion rate high enough, they're going to try what you have for a while, and if it's bad enough, they'll just send you to 0 impressions, okay? And like I said before, if you set your target ROAS or your target cost per lead on your campaigns, if you're using smart bidding, too aggressively, too quick, you're not going to get any impressions, or you might get a few, and then right away you're going to go to 0. And so, got to have the right setup, right ad, click-through rate, right ad to get you the right ad, click-through rate, right site to send them to have the right conversion rate on the traffic you're sending to your site. And you got to set your goals real conservative at the beginning so that the algorithm has some room to test and figure out that you have something that's decent, versus expecting too much too quick from the system, and Google just says, well, I can't get it, so I give up right away. Okay? To put things into a little bit better perspective for you, so you go into this with your eyes completely open here, okay? Your results on your ads will be 20 times better year 2 than they're going to be the first week of launching your campaign. Just to put things into true perspective for you here, they completely underestimate how much time, money, and effort they're going to have to put into their ads to get to where they're working, because again, Google system's predicated on machine learning, trying certain things that work don't work, and trying to run the stuff that works, because the stuff that works provides, again, a great experience to their users, so that those users want to come back to Google and click on ads in the future. So essentially, you got to invest money into the system to even, no matter how good your ads are or your landing pages are, or your site, to even get in position to be Google's favorite. When you are Google's favorite, they want to do everything they can to keep you around. Rock bottom cost per click, which will be many times 5 times less than what you had when you started out. They want to give you, show your ad as much as they can, because there's no guarantee for your keywords that always shows up. That's what search suppression share is about. And most importantly, and this is the one that nobody really talks or knows about, and that I know because I see it every day, this is all basically I do, is they're going to give you a higher percentage of the good quality traffic. Because a lot of times when you start advertising, you're going to say, well, why isn't my conversion rate very high? Why? Because they know you're probably not going to be around for long, so they basically treat you like a sucker. They send all the crap traffic to you. All the best traffic goes to the guy that's been there for the last 2 years and knows it's going to be around next month. Why would you give, if you're Google, why are you going to give all the good quality traffic that's likely to convert to the new guy versus the existing guy, the loyal guy? So, and they know what's likely to convert versus what's not to convert for a certain keyword. Let's say you want to, you're bidding on the keyword red shoes. They sub-segment that people that search for red shoes thousands of times. They profile people, how old they are, what's their internet browsing history been like the last week, what's their gender, on and on and on and on. And they kind of pretty well know who's going to convert and who's not going to convert. If you're going to get the guy that they think is going to convert the most, or is most sure about it, to click on your ad and want it be, and have Google want to be it be your ad that person clicks on, you're going to have to earn it up front with them by having that better ad, by having that better landing page, and proving that to the system that you have something better, so that the guy that was getting all the best traffic before is now you. So you'll get 20 times the results year 2 than you will the first week, and that'll come by lower cost per click, higher percentage of the good quality traffic you want, a higher percentage of the general clicks available in your market in general that you can get, and that all adds up to the 20x results you're going to get. And then, like I said before, with all that, you have to do the proper work to beat your competition. It's not just showing up isn't going to cut it anymore. You have to do better than your competition, or at least at the top 20%. And then you've got to have the patience to wait for the algorithm to figure out you have something good, so you become their favorite. You're going to have to slowly ratchet up the ROI, or the cost per lead target you want your campaigns to get, so that you don't stall out the system and your impressions go to 0, because it can't figure, because the more data it has, the better the ROI it understands it can get you. And but it doesn't happen overnight. So like I said before, you're normally going to ratchet it up like 15% at a time. You're going to start out at like 100. Only when you get 100% ROI, assuming you have target ROAS bidding, you're going to go to 125, and then 150, and then like 180, and then like 215, and then just keep going. And your goal should be a full month. If you want to be super conservative about it, know for sure you're not going to go to 0 impressions. Want a full month where you're at 100% ROAS, if that's what you're set at, is a 100% target ROAS, and then that month is up, you're going to go to 125. And then you're going to wait another month, and if you've hit at least 125% ROI or ROAS the next month, then you're going to set it to 150%. You're going to keep doing that. So over the course of a year, effectively, you go from a starting 100% target ROAS to a 500% target ROAS, and then by the end of the year 2, you're at 1,000% ROAS. But you didn't do it all at once, because the algorithm doesn't learn that quickly unless you have a huge budget. Now, technically, if you had $50,000 a month to dump into ads, this process can happen quick. You can learn how to get these results in 2 months versus spreading it out over a year. It's not about time, it's amount of data, therefore clicks, that need to be acquired through your account for the algorithm to understand how to best run your ads. Because even though they understand who converts and who doesn't convert for the most part in your niche, every website and every offer is going to convert a little bit differently than other offers. So the algorithm has to get they get a really good feel, the exact type of person who buys from you, the more data, when they get a certain amount of data. And that cumulatively gets better and better all the time. You could think of your ad account, funding that ad account, like a piggy bank that you're filling up. When it gets to the top, you are going to just make millions of dollars from that account. Your goal is to get the initial profitability as quick as possible so that you can live to where that piggy bank will be filled up. But that piggy bank, you're filling up that account with data instead of money here in this case, like with the piggy bank analogy. And when it gets to the top, it's highly, that account is highly, highly, highly valuable. And I even, and also put this in perspective, you could take that account that's already been running now for 3 years, take the same ad, same everything, put it in a new account, your results are going to go back to where they were at the beginning. Not completely, because, of course you'll find ads that didn't work and so on and so forth, but literally, your results will be 5% of what they were in your first account in that new account that you set up, because there's no data there. Even though you have the ads and the keywords figured out, the data is not there. So anyway, if you are too aggressive going in summary here with your target ROAS or target CPA, you're not going to get any impressions. And if you're using manual bidding, that might be because you're going too low on your bids, technically as well. Okay? Or if you had impressions and you're now not getting them, or should I say, if you had impressions and you're not getting them now, then your target ROAS or target CPA is probably too aggressive, too far away from what you're actually getting you've gotten in the recent past, or your ad click-through rate's not good enough, your landing page conversion rate's not good enough. If you haven't gotten any impressions on that campaign, then maybe you try to start some other campaigns. knowing that if those go well, this campaign over here that you really want to get impressions on will start getting impressions. If it doesn't, then contact support, because maybe there's a glitch, of which if you can't get a hold of support like you want, you can contact me and I'll contact them on your behalf for you as a courtesy. At guaranteeppc.com, you can reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to help you out. No charge for that necessarily. On top of that, as a summary here, you need a firm, sum everything up, you need a firm foundation with what you're advertising. This isn't something that you're going to come to the table and have the most money, so therefore your ads are going to work, you're going to push all the other ads out of the side. Google wants more than the short-term money. Have the ads set up so that good quality ads are there that are helping the user a lot, so that people like clicking on ads in the future, okay? If you set up your ads and your landing pages better than your competition, and you have some patience, you're going to get lots and lots of impressions, okay? And on the way up, you're not going to your impressions aren't going to stall out. They're going to consistently keep getting more, okay? If you went down to 0, well, then you have to go back to the starting point and get the right ad and the right landing page again, and go at this again, okay? So there's no way around having the firm foundation there of the right ads, right landing pages with the right click-through rate that you need, the right conversion rate that you need, as compared to your competition on Google now. And you got to spend enough money, acquire enough clicks for the algorithm to figure out it's actually better than your competition. So you're going to be paying much higher cost per click just for the algorithm to learn and so forth. But if you do those things, there's no reason why you should be in learning mode for long and have no impressions or little impressions. So that's specifically what, as per the title of the video, what you want to do about no impressions in your campaigns in learning mode specifically. And that obviously might have happened to you for several different reasons, of which I've covered all those main reasons in this video. If you still have questions about anything I asked or mentioned in the video, or you don't think I covered your exact use case, feel free to leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days. I'm more than happy to, by the way, ask or respond to any questions you have about any kind of ads that you're running on Google or Facebook or anything else, as I love to be able to give back to my viewers of this channel as a thank you for helping us grow. And I can use my 15 years of ad experience, an experience I have of just running ads all day long for clients, on how to put you on the right track with what you're doing. With that, if you are looking to make millions of dollars doing online advertising for your business, this is the channel that you want to pay attention to, as I'm not just a YouTuber talking out my butt here like most of these people on YouTube talking about ad stuff. I'm actually managing several dozen ad accounts on an ongoing basis for clients, of which we have to guarantee people's results in order to get paid, which I'll talk about in a second. And I'm not selling courses, so I'm somebody who just does ad strategy all day long that has a YouTube channel on the side, which is the relevant information that you actually want. So if you're going to subscribe and pay attention to anything, this is the information you want if you really want to make money with your ads, so you should subscribe. Furthermore, I've got a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog where you can also find great information for myself if you want to really learn how to make millions of dollars running ads for your business online on Google, Facebook, and so on and so forth. If you like the channel, you'll love the blog as well. With that said, I will also just want to tell you that we do have an ad agency here. I work directly with my clients, and my ad agency, we guarantee people's results that we work with. That is, if you are looking for a great ad agency to work with, you should reach out to us, and what I can do for you is I can estimate how much sales results we can get for your campaign up front without necessarily charging a fee. What we do is we guarantee you, like if you're at X, we say, okay, well, we'll bring you to Y before we charge a fee. If we don't get you to Y, there is no fee. Here's the fee once we get you to Y already. And so with that, the only catch is that we don't work with just anybody. You have to have something we know we can get great results on, but if you want to see what I can estimate as far as results for you, and if we can work together in that capacity, all you got to do is reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com, and I'd be happy to give you a free assessment on what you're doing, to review the possibilities. If you're not looking to work with an ad agency per se, there's a second option available for you. That is, I've been working with clients at Guarantee PPC for almost 10 years now, and with that have worked in hundreds of markets. If we've worked in your market before, in a different geographic territory, you should just simply take everything we've developed for your market and use it, because in a lot of cases we've spent millions of dollars of client ad money finding the perfect ad, perfect landing page, all of it for your market. And you could just literally take the templates we have, copy and paste them into your own ad accounts, and get the same results we're getting. After a break-in period, of course. Like I was talking about, there's always a break-in period. But you don't have to learn anything. You don't have to spend all the money figuring out what we figured out was the most ideal way to run ads in that market. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me. I'll let you know if we worked in your market, and then also what results we've gotten in your market before, so you would know, is it worth it for you or not, as well as tell you the price, one-time fee to get those templates from us. If you're looking to start a new business, there's no better, easier way to start a business, in my opinion, than start out with our ad templates. Such as if you're doing local services now, you want to get into running e-commerce, grass always looks greener on the other side of the fence, but if you wanted to do that, why not take our template that we have for an e-commerce market, like a printer toner market or whatever, and as long as you're in a different geographic area than our client or past client, you could just, it's turnkey, sales, if you will, profitable results in your market using what we've developed and are running in another market. And so you could start up another business like that really easily. Or if you're doing lead generation with, like if you wanted to get into a passive income business, the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to use one of our templates to start up a lead generation business and then sell the leads to people in that industry. If you're interested, anyway, and we got people doing that as well. If you're interested in an opportunity like that, you can reach out to me, guaranteeppc.com. I can tell you what markets we've gotten results in, what we charge for the templates, and so forth. Well, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you thought the information I provided for you today here is useful, it's profitable for you, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.